Good afternoon. About 2 weeks ago, I got into a lift, and there was this really smartly dressed guy who was obviously foreign. So and I was feeling in my usual bullish mood, and I said, by the time I get to where I want to go in this lift, I need to convert him into a client. So I said who I was. And he was French, and he said, and I asked him, why are you in Malta? And he said he just moved a business here. So I said, oh, really good. I said, do you enjoy it? He said, no, I hate it. I thought, shit, I'm not going to get this one. I said, why? He said, because I've been here for 2 weeks and I can't open a bank account. My wife hates it, and I can't stand your chicken. I said, here's my card. I will sort out the bank account. You need to deal with your wife, and we need to leave the chicken for something else. And it made me think. When we move, Malta boasts all the time that we're doing really well, moving lots of corporate business here. Behind each one of those corporate structures, there are individuals, and I just wonder whether we've given enough focus to the individuals behind the structure. And what I've done, I've asked 5 people here who I will introduce you to very quickly because we've only got a bit of time. All of whom have moved to Malta, and I'd like to hear from them in the course of our session what they really feel, so as to try and see is there anything that we can learn from them, so as to make life easier. We've got Konstantin von Jagow, who's the CEO of Munich Re. We've got Stefan, Mast, who's the MD of the Lufthansa in Malta. We've got Konstantin Schaefer, who's the CFO of the Tipico. We've got Barry Woestenburg, who's the MD of H&P Corporate Services. And then we've got Noel Vella, who's the CFO of Clive Capital. You might be thinking, why is he up here? Because he's Maltese. In fact, he's lived in the UK for all of his life except for the first 7 years and the last 3. And so we can hear from him as to what his thoughts are. So just to kick off really quickly, and I'm going to start with you, Mr. Mast. Stefan, what do you think about our chicken in Malta? No. What were your personal challenges when you moved here? And I know that you moved here with a family of young kids as well. What did you think, and how do you think that we can improve?
First of all, I'm Stefan Mast. I came here in November 2011. And that's correct. I came here with my wife and a 5-year-old boy, and the particular situation was that my wife was pregnant, so we came here. The family came then here in December, and our second son was born in January. So the challenge was within 1 week not only to find a accommodation, a house, but also to have a look at the hospitals and schools and kindergartens, etc. So we managed that all in 1 week. And I would like to point out, before I go to another detail, that now, 1.5 years later, we have to say that we really enjoy being in Malta. In the future, once we are retired, we will always memorize that as a great time. And it has a lot of advantages, clearly, so it's an entirely positive experience. However, I was told to be critical, and I can do that as well. And there are a number of experiences which are surprising. One could say they are a bit strange as well, and I chose to talk about the experience of getting registered here. From my German understanding, when you go to another country, and I have worked in Mexico and in Turkey once, you go to an authority and you're getting registered, you get an ID card or whatever, and that's it. So we did that. That worked out. I had a Maltese ID card, and I thought, okay, that's it. Then, after a few months, there were gossips getting more concrete that there is a second level of residence, and I'm sure all the experts between you know these. There are two levels of residence. You are having either an ID card or you are a real resident, but then a real paper war starts. You need appointments with an authority, you get communication that looks not very professional because there's no person name to talk to, you're just getting an email, your appointment is in 2 months, 9 o'clock at this date, but there's no person, no telephone number, nothing. This is not completely unimportant, this issue, as all of you know, utility bill tariffs also depend on this second resident card level. In our case, as a family, that makes around 30% of the utility tariff. And
Stefan, can I just butt in and ask perhaps might be a difficult question, because you are here as the CEO of a major German company in Malta. Do you expect that you should get a special treatment, or do you think that you should be treated like the rest of us?
I would be happy to always get such easy questions, of course. Of course, I do not at all expect any special treatment. What I would have liked is more transparent information. I mean, when you go to an authority, it would be nice not to have to work for hours, but to have someone to talk to tell you, look, it's like that, there are different levels, after 3 or 4 or 5 months you have to do this and that, and this leads you to this or that consequence.
Because one of the thoughts that we as an industry have had in Malta for some time is in fact that you deserve to get special treatment, and if we put all this energy and effort into trying to attract your business here, then should we not also worry about you individually? But I'm going to cut you off now, and I'm going to move on to Konstantin. You've been here for 5 years, I think you said last time, and what you were saying when we met was that in fact you've seen a major improvement over the time that you've been here. Would you like to explain where?
Yes, I mean basically it comes down a bit to this issue, like I don't like the chicken here. So if we talk about critical things in Malta, it needs a while to think about it, and then you come to things which are not purely related to your business, but which do make which are important. So I went through the experience of setting up a company here 4.5 years ago from scratch, and everything we were promised materialized. So that was a very positive experience. However, there were very practical matters and operations which we had underestimated. We had several power cuts in 2009. We had the roads were and are still not in the best condition. These old buses were polluting the air. What I'm saying is that this doesn't all harm our business except for maybe the power cuts. What I'm saying is that there are two realities here which I observed. You have this extremely efficient treatment by MFSA or by the International Tax Department, but then you have this incredible issue with these e-residency permits, and where we're not asking for being treated differently, but where I think Malta also should improve in these aspects and not only cater for the needs of the investors, but really shouldn't allow for these two realities where people come here and say we have such a good impression and suddenly there are these roads which rather remind you of, or did remind you of companies further in the south. However, I think Malta has come a long way, and the longer I'm here, the better my understanding is for this. Where Malta was 30 years ago and where Malta is today, it has come a long way, and even in the past 4 years I have seen personally a lot of improvements. And if you ask me now, I don't really have an eye for the deficiencies anymore so much, but rather appreciate a lot. And yeah, so let's put it this way.
Thank you. higher costs, and I'm going to come on to you because I know that you took the easy way out, and then what you did is found a Maltese partner, right? And so that obviously has made your life easier, because I understand that if your partner is not comfortable with the way life is, and then it impacts on your life as well. Would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, I mean, it's right, Kevin. I mean, my partner is Maltese, and I mean, for me it was...
Female, right?
Female, yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, I mean, like, I must admit, I came also like 5 years ago to Malta, and I also must say, like, many things have improved since then, but my problems were also like the same what Stefan had. I came as an EU national to Malta, and I found some trouble to exercise my treaty rights here. The normal stuff. You come, you bring your car, you have trouble to import it tax-free. Same stuff on the bank accounts, etc. Credit cards, I get the same rights like the Maltese. But I must say, all these things have like changed over time, and also like leaving a bit the expat scene, coming more into the Maltese life. Also like due to my partner, I got very much used to how the things are done or handled here in Malta now. And I must say, if as a foreigner you have a Maltese partner, that opens you many doors. So like you are seeing also like many things with the eyes of a Maltese, and also like you get many things fixed as a Maltese, which you wouldn't do it like as you come directly from Germany. And that is like a big advantage here in Malta. Malta is quite small, and in order like to get things done, it goes quite quickly. Something like that you would never have in Germany.
Okay, Barry, your turn. When we met, you introduced a new management role to me, and you called it a CCO, which was a Chief Chasing Officer, right?
Yes, correct.
And the point that you made was that the expectation that we give might be a bit higher than the reality. Would you like to expand on that?
Yes. I think that creating expectations is not only in business, but also generally you see it in tourism, you see it in attracting foreigners to live here. Malta likes to beat its own drum. Everything is world class, everything is one of a kind, everything is pristine. So before I came here, about 3 years ago, I was reading a lot on the internet, talking to people, and then, well, I thought, wow, this is paradise, you know, just 3 hours flying from here. And for business, it's going to be something like a well-oiled machine. I was imagining something like Singapore or something. And then I came here, you get out of the plane, and then you take a taxi to the hotel. And then the first general impression you get is, all right, this is it, you know. It takes some time to get used to, and then you remember all these adverts, all these stories, everything, the beating your own drum, painting the rosy picture. And that, yeah, well, maybe it's because I'm a modest man myself that I that I don't really like that. No, but it's the same. It's a bit the same in business. Also today, talking a lot about the success stories of Malta. Well, they're there, obviously, but not in all fields. And I think sometimes you need to be, if you have at these events, you know, you have to be very positive, because that's the theme of this conference. It's an international competition, so you have to stand out. You have to be positive. But if you really find somebody who's interested in setting up shop here, I think you need to be realistic, and you need to tell them, you know, if you only talk on a high level, yeah, you come here, you set up a company, everything will be done in a week. It is not, and everybody knows that. And it is, if you go from the high level advice on setting up, on moving here, yeah, you're a European Union citizen, you just move here. And then, well, we find out months later that you need to go there, and you need to make an appointment there, and all of these things that have to do with implementation. And that's what my experience is. There you need a chief chasing officer, you know, to try to get the implementation, also get it going. And it is a European country. There is very strict due diligence rules. So everything you do, you know, you just need to create a whole bunch of paperwork. And it's not easier in Malta to open a bank account than it is in the Netherlands or Germany. It is just a European jurisdiction. And ease of doing business is here, but you also have to be realistic. It's not, you don't set up here overnight. That's what my experience is, yeah. Okay,
I don't know, as a fellow Maltese, I now need you to say good things, okay? So no, you began in Malta as a young kid, and then you left. So was it easier for you because you are Maltese and then you came back?
I think the answer is yes, in the sense of my experience has been very different to these guys here. It's been very overwhelmingly positive indeed. Yeah, okay, coming back to Malta, I knew what to expect, including the chicken situation. That's fine. You know, I wanted to come back to Malta. I found an opportunity to come back to Malta, so it worked very well. I came for a week like these guys before I came full-time. So I opened a bank account, I opened up all the things, I got the utility bills organised. I did that pretty quickly. So whether that's because I'm Maltese or just I need the people to go to, I'm not sure. What I would suggest is that there needs to be have a look at this. Someone needs to look at this in the sense of whether the lawyers that these guys use to set up when people move to Malta, whoever it is they go to, someone has a pack that they can hand over quickly and say, this is who you have to go to, this is the authority, this is the person you speak to, this is the telephone number to make the call to. But in terms of doing business here, we've, from a Clive Capital point of view, we found it very, very easy. Our initial reason for coming here was, number one, because the jurisdiction had a very good, positive, very clean and very robust reputation from a regulatory point of view. The tax comes after that. The tax is not the first point. The reason why you get to the starting point is because of the reputation of the jurisdiction. Dealing with the MFSA, we find, is very straightforward. I've personally set up regulatory entities in America, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, as well as the UK. And I have to say, dealing with the MFSA here is equally as smooth as any of those, and in many ways much better. We sometimes forget that one of the main, for me personally, one of the main reasons why Malta works is the geographical location of it. That the time zone works beautifully. You're 1 hour ahead of London. So if you're from a financial services point of view, which is where I'm coming from, if you're a financial services point of view, you can operate a back office here or a fund admin office here. You come in at 8:30 Maltese time, that's 2 hours before UK London time opens. You get a lot done in that day before your London colleagues come in. That works very well because they come in 9 o'clock their time and their positions are reconciled. Everything at the P&L is working. So that works as well. So in terms of my experience, yes, it's been positive.
Okay. Hi, Konstantin. I'm going to come back to you. One of the ways that Malta generates new business is through people like you, all of you, who go back home, talk to your friends, and say what a great place it is. Do you do that? All is your experience on balance? What is it? Positive, negative? Would you be a promoter of Malta?
Definitely, yes. So sorry. And I don't have a hard time being this. So if I'm asked how is it living in Malta, how is it working in Malta, it's overall, I don't have a hard time being very positive. Also when it's really private and I'm not representing a company or something. Yeah, so that's an easy one, yes, of course.
And if there was one thing that that is manageable and we could change, what would that be?
As I said, it's not the regulation, it's not the legal environment, it's not the fiscal environment and all these things. It's things which you might not have on the agenda to make people even happier when they're here, or even have a bigger choice of options when they come here from abroad. And one thing might be, which shouldn't be underestimated, is the situation of the schools. There are 2 international schools here in Malta. One is very small and one has a huge waiting list. And that's, I think the Maltese government should have an eye on this and should support where it can, because it can be a limiting factor when a family comes here with many children, that suddenly they find themselves in a situation where they say, okay, there are very, very good Maltese schools indeed, no question about this, but this is just not our choice for whatever reason. And we rather want to have options and so on. And there, this might be a limiting factor, and I'm not sure whether this is on the agenda yet of the government, or if somebody has an eye on this. And yeah. Okay,
Stefan. Same sort of question. But do you find that there's a forum, there's a place where you can make your frustrations known, or typically amongst the expat community in Malta? Are they kept inside, and then you see lots of Facebook pages? I'm not saying that you're one of them, but I know there's a Facebook page about the water and electricity tariffs for residents. I've seen that. Do you find that there's a place where you can go and say, look, we need to sort this out, or not?
Not really. I mean, those kind of issues are being discussed between friends and people you know. Most of them expats, but not necessarily all. But there is nothing like an official authority or office where you could ask things. Not that I know of or aware of, and that would in fact be a great thing.
One of the things that came out when we met to discuss what we're going to talk about here was one of these guys said to me, what we need are relocation consultants in Malta. There aren't any. And I'd just like to take this opportunity just to advertise PwC relocation. But I mean, we don't have either private sector or government relocation consultants, helpers. Somebody who is going to handhold you, who, as we do in the corporate context, where we say, don't worry, we will take care of all of your needs there. On the personal side, we don't. And as I said earlier, one of the ideas always has been, and I know that Professor Bannister has been pushing this over the years. Do we need a special place for you to go? Why should you have to go and queue up for your EID card everywhere else? Why can't you just go somewhere and get special treatment? So I've got a bit of sympathy with that idea. And when I asked you earlier on, I meant it was half in jest. Carsten, what are your thoughts? Where would you like to see major change, improvement, which is within our control?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, from the business point of view, what we certainly would love to see is like some changes, like in the banking sector, for example. I come from an area where we have like loads of banking transactions, and that is something where Malta should work on. It's bank charges, interest rates, etc. Because we as an international company, we see the international comparison, especially across Europe, and seeing here what is available like in Germany, Austria, and then on the other hand what is being offered in Malta. There could be a lot of efficiency here in Malta in the future, whether it's being payment transaction charges, seeing target 2 access for the banks here in Malta, seeing on the other hand the payment processing costs which we are faced with. That is something what we hardly understand. And also like on the, when it comes to loans, for example, on the interest rate side, when we see what is being offered like in Germany, Austria, and what we see like what is being offered in Malta, that is also something where Malta could become a lot more competitive with the other countries. Okay,
so you are saying when you benchmark banking tariffs in Malta against other EU jurisdictions, ours are more expensive. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah, really? Okay,
yes.
I'm sure our banking colleagues in the audience will take note. Barry, you were really negative before.
I was playing the bad cop. Sorry.
Why are you still here?
No.
No. And I'm asking you semi-seriously, or,
yes.
or semi-in-jest. If it's like you said it is,
yes.
Why are you still here?
Because I love the place. Okay. Seriously, yeah. No, I really enjoy it here, and you know, all the start is difficult, you know, and you have to get used to it. And I'm Dutch, but I moved out of the Netherlands.
And this isn't your fault, right?
Yeah, you know, I can't do anything about it. But well, I could lose my passport and maybe obtain Maltese citizenship, but that's far away still. No. Yeah, and I've been away from the Netherlands already for almost 12 years. I lived in a number of different countries, and it's difficult wherever you go because everything is, well, not everything obviously, but a lot of things are different, and you know, it's just getting used to being here, getting used to a new environment, getting used to new rules, getting used to a new life actually. Yeah, that always takes a bit of time. You know, it may be frustrating at times, but yeah, it's been for me. I've been here for 3 years now. It's been absolutely rewarding for me. I came here with only a suitcase, and well, that's actually still what I have now, only a suitcase. But now I'm sitting here, you know, as a panel member here at FinanceMalta. But I built a life here. I found a girlfriend here. I built a company here. So yeah, what more can I wish for? So no, Malta has brought me a lot, and I enjoy living here. So this was my good cop part.
No, many years ago I lived in the UK too, and I came back after 7-8 years over there. And I must admit, it took me about 2 or 3 years until I got used to the way things worked over here again. And a lot of things used to annoy me, driving into work and the guy in front of you chucks a bread roll out of his car, right? Which you don't see anymore. Are you still in that phase?
No, I'm beyond that phase. No,
of throwing out the bread roll.
I now throw the bread rolls myself. No, I would say I agree. I think in summary, I would agree what people have been saying in the sense that there are probably two Maltas. There's a very efficient and very slick professional business Malta. And it is actually very professional compared to my experience elsewhere, so it's very positive. But I think there's an everyday quirky kind of Malta, and if you get used to the quirkiness, maybe you become quirky yourself. But if you become native, to use that expression, then I think life is easier for you. Yeah, you know, you make friends. You see the same faces all the time. That's good and bad at the same time, I know. But you see the same people. You go to networking sessions. You get introduced to other people. You do business. I mean, what I find interesting about non-Maltese people in my piece of the industry here, hedge funds, financial services, is that I'm now meeting American people, British people, Dutch people, whoever they may be, who have been here 2-3 years and feel comfortable enough, and they've come here to do hedge funds only, or funds, but they're now comfortable enough with Malta to actually set up non-hedge fund business. They're doing private business. Now, whether that's developing a house and selling it on, or renovating, or doing whatever it is they want to do. I'm not going to mention specifics here. But I find that very interesting, that they feel comfortable that Malta is a robust enough, safe enough place for them to do something other than their main job. And that's good. I compare that to, say, Cyprus, which I think is a developing situation which Malta may get some collateral damage from, and that's what Malta needs to be careful about. But Malta, if it is going to get damage from that, it's going to be the same as every other EU nation. By being in the EU, you're going to get hit by that. But I think Malta, compared to other countries, is a good place to do business because, if nothing else, has the English language, has an English way of doing business in terms of the laws. And the fiscal system, it works quite well. I think it's quite transparent. From a person who's been in the UK for 35 years, it's a novelty for me to work with a fiscal year, which is a calendar year. I got fed up using the 5th of April. It's just bizarre. So that's quite good. And again, it's very straightforward. Yes, the gentleman there laughing, I know why. You know, it's quite. And again, talking about the payroll here, looking at the staffing cost. When we first came here, it was very much about the moving from Cayman, which has no regulation and no reputation, frankly, to Malta, which has a very good reputation, a very good, robust financial services system here. So that was the first reason we came. But then subsequent to that, we've actually come here now because actually we're adding value through staff. There are very good people on the ground here, very good talent. And that for me, as a person who was abroad for a long time, that's actually a big plus. I wasn't expecting to come across so many people who on the ground here, locally trained people, whether university or MCAS, actually are very, very competent at what we need them to do. And in the last 9 months or so, we've now been receiving pretty much every week CVs from non-Maltese people who live abroad who want to come here and work at relatively junior levels. And that for me is quite revealing, because I think Malta now has got traction, has got momentum. Beyond simply companies thinking about coming here, there's now people wanting to come here. I see this very much as Ireland, Dublin was 15 years ago, which is a hugely big plus.
Okay, thank you. Can I just say one thing in our conclusion? I think for these things to be relevant, for these conferences to be relevant, we need to take on board what people like this say. It's easy just to come up here, give a speech, and then we go home and we carry on as usual. I'd like to thank all of you, first of all, for being so honest, and because I'm sure the easy option is to just come up here and say everything's great, and I'm really pleased that you didn't do that. But I really would urge, if there's anybody important in the audience, to take it on board. I think this is an area where Malta really needs to improve. I know that I'm the last thing before you and your lunch, so thank you, and hopefully we...
I just have a comment on the filling up a form for the expatriates. We just signed a similar situation with our firm relocating someone to Malta, and he had to fill up the form, and there was, where would you like to go after Malta? He's 70 years old, retiring in Malta. So we left it blank. The department refused it because it's blank, because it's a must-fill form. At the end we say, paradise, and they accepted it.